Who hasn't gone through a moment so embarrassing they just wanted to disappear? Yeah, some people not only went through it, they also had the bad luck of being filmed at the exact moment. From disastrous falls to unbelievable blunders, these clips are guaranteed laughs for anyone watching, and that's exactly what you're going to see here today. So leave your like, click the subscribe button down below, and let's go. During a soccer broadcast that seemed normal, an unusual scene ended up drawing more attention than the game itself. Cameras trying to capture the crowd's reactions ended up catching a young blonde woman, considered very attractive by viewers, in a completely unglamorous moment. She was filmed picking her nose, and without realizing she was on national television, putting it in her mouth right afterward. The reaction was immediate. Within seconds, the clip started circulating on social media, creating a mix of laughter, surprise, and secondhand embarrassment. Many people commented on how it was a reminder that even in packed stands, under the gaze of cameras, people sometimes forget they're being watched. In the end, it became one more of those spontaneous recordings that show how live TV can capture unexpected situations, and how a simple gesture can end up being immortalized in the collective memory of everyone who saw it happen. During the Victoria's Secret Fashion Show 2017, held in Shanghai, one of the most memorable moments of the event happened when the Chinese model Ming Xi tripped and fell right on the runway. The slip happened because of the long dress she was wearing, combined with high-heeled boots, which made her drop to her knees in front of the audience and the cameras.
I still believe
Oh my goodness.
While the crowd held its breath, the Brazilian model Gisele Oliveira, who was walking right behind her, reacted with empathy and speed. Without thinking twice, she came over, helped Ming get up, and encouraged her with a smile and supportive gestures, showing that even in an environment of competition and glamour, there's still room for solidarity. Gisele's attitude was widely praised by the press and by fans, who saw the scene as an example of companionship and humanity amid the shine and pressure of the fashion world. Ming Xi, even visibly embarrassed, resumed the walk with elegance and received warm applause from the audience. During what seemed like a simple interview for 7 News Australia, a woman ended up starring in one of the funniest moments ever recorded by local TV. It all happened when reporter Michael Scanlon went out on the streets of Melbourne to interview people about their exercise habits. Among the volunteers was Erica O'Donnell, who seemed calm until she was surprised with a very basic question: whether she could spell her first and last name. That's when the unexpected happened. Instead of spelling Erica O'Donnell, she answered with total confidence, first last, literally first and last in English. The reporter burst out laughing right away, and Erica, realizing the mistake, looked visibly embarrassed but also played along.
Can you spell first and last?
F-I-R-S-T-L-A-S-T.
I meant your first and last name.
Michael Scanlon even commented that in 10 years of interviews, that was the first time someone had misunderstood the question like that. The little slip was, of course, blamed on the nerves of being in front of cameras, something that can make anyone anxious. The video made its way onto social media and went viral quickly, drawing loud laughs from thousands of people online. The moment became a classic of Australian TV, showing that sometimes even the simplest mistakes can deliver the biggest laughs. A very unusual video went viral on social media after a resident was caught by her own home security cameras in a moment that was, let's say, not very elegant. The footage shows the woman approaching the camera installed at the entrance of the house and taking a quick look. Suddenly she positions herself right in front of the device, lets out a loud fart, and as if nothing happened, starts humming carefree. The moment got even funnier when, as she walked away, she couldn't hold back her laughter, leaving the frame giggling to herself about her own mischief.
Last night we let the liquor talk.
Despite the slightly embarrassing scene, this woman showed she doesn't care about anything. A moment that was as embarrassing as it was funny went viral on social media after a young woman mistook her own husband for another man inside the busy Plaza de la Tecnología in Monterrey, Mexico. The mall's security cameras recorded the entire scene, which quickly spread across the internet. In the footage, the woman walks calmly down the hallway and upon spotting a man in a green shirt believes she's seeing her husband. Without thinking twice, she comes up from behind and hugs him affectionately. But to everyone's surprise, the man wasn't her husband, just a customer waiting for service at a phone repair shop. As soon as she realizes the mistake, the young woman jumps back, completely embarrassed, while the real husband, leaning on the counter and watching everything, starts laughing at the situation. The man who got hugged, for his part, reacted with good humor and took it as a joke. Anyway, luckily she noticed the mix-up quickly. Just imagine if she stood there for several minutes with the wrong husband. An unusual scene caught attention on social media after being recorded by a security camera. In it, a woman riding a motorcycle decided to stop in the middle of the street for a reason that was, at the very least, curious: to scratch her armpit. The gesture, which seemed totally harmless, ended up causing a small accident right after. While she was stopped, distracted by the irritation, a man on another motorcycle was coming right behind and didn't realize the path was blocked. With no time to brake, he ended up crashing into the back of the woman's motorcycle, sending her forward. Luckily, she managed to keep her balance and didn't actually fall to the ground. The impact caught the attention of passers-by, and the motorcyclist who hit her, along with other people, quickly came over to check if everyone was okay. Despite the scare, nobody got hurt, and the woman seemed to be left mostly embarrassed after making sure she wasn't injured. During a golf outing that seemed calm, a woman ended up creating a moment that made everyone watching laugh. Everything suggested she was still learning how to play, and her enthusiasm ended up speaking louder than her technique. As she got ready to take the shot, she adjusted her stance, swung the club, and finally hit the ball. But the result wasn't quite what she expected. The momentum of the motion made her lose her balance, spin around, and fall into the grass. To make it worse, the club, still moving, lightly tapped her in the face. The clip recorded on video shows the woman laughing at her own blunder while trying to pull herself together, showing she took it in good spirits. During an event at a home that seemed to be a special tribute for a woman, an unexpected moment ended up stealing everyone's attention. As she walked toward the center of the celebration, the guest lost her balance and fell straight into the pool, causing surprise and restrained laughter among the people there. Quickly, other women nearby ran to help her, but in the rush, one of them also slipped and ended up plunging into the water too. The situation, although embarrassing, was taken with good humor by everyone, turning what could have been an awkward incident into a moment of shared lightheartedness. Both were helped out quickly, and despite the scare, no one was seriously hurt. The mood at the event stayed upbeat, with laughs and playful comments about the triumphant entrance into the pool, showing that unexpected moments can become fun memories when everyone takes it in stride. During a live edition of a TV newscast, a journalist went through an unusual moment. While getting ready for the broadcast, she let out a fart on air and tried to cover it up immediately. Worst of all, while trying to pretend nothing happened, she started coughing hard, as if she were being suffocated by her own gas. Despite the unexpected episode, the professional quickly regained her composure and started the news as if nothing had happened, maintaining the seriousness and credibility the role requires. The clip ended up circulating on social media, with people online commenting both on the incident and on the journalist's ability to handle it in an elegant and discreet way. It really isn't easy to fart on air and stay calm. A content creator decided to do a prank on the beach involving his girlfriend, but the result ended up being more embarrassing than funny. He placed a container of water in the sand, covered it with a towel, and then called his girlfriend over, trying to convince her to lie down there. Despite the insistence, she seemed hesitant and only gave in after a lot of pressure. When she finally lay down, she sank straight into the container full of water. The moment, which was supposed to be funny, ended up giving viewers strong secondhand embarrassment since it felt forced and unnatural. People online who saw the video commented on how uncomfortable it was to watch the prank, pointing out that even though the intention was to create fun content, the exaggerated execution and the creator's insistence turned the scene into something hard to watch without feeling awkward. It's an example of how some jokes, when pushed too far, can create more discomfort than laughter. A girl decided to have fun at an arcade and chose to test her strength on the classic punch machine, an attraction known for measuring how hard each punch hits the equipment. Full of energy, she tucked her arms together inside her shirt, took on a somewhat awkward stance, and started trying to land a punch on the machine's punching bag. After a few attempts that came out clumsy and not very strong, she finally managed to hit the bag. However, the punch was completely awkward, without the precision it really needed. The force of the impact made the bag bounce back hard and smack her in the face, almost knocking her down completely. It was a moment of surprise for both her and everyone watching. Despite the scare, the girl didn't get hurt and managed to laugh at her own blunder, showing she takes unexpected situations with a great sense of humor. A curious case drew attention at an airport in Shanghai, China, involving a passenger who had to remove all her makeup before boarding. The issue wasn't the passport photo itself, but the comparison between her appearance and the document. The airport's facial recognition system couldn't identify her because of the heavy cosmetics, and she was instructed by an employee to wipe her face until she looked like the passport photo.
哎呀，你过不去，你画成这样，跟我发什么脾气？
In a video shared on social media, you can see the woman removing her makeup with wet wipes, keeping a serious expression as she followed instructions. The airport worker who was filming even laughed at the situation, which made everything even more embarrassing for the woman, who even tried to slap her out of anger. The incident quickly went viral, racking up more than 600,000 views, and it split opinion among viewers online. Similar cases have happened before, like that of the Brazilian model Janina Prazeres, elected the perfect woman by a Playboy study based on artificial intelligence, who had her identity questioned at immigration in Sao Paulo, Brazil. She reported that although she expected the situation due to changes in her appearance over the years, it was a shock to be stopped even without having done anything wrong. So far, the passenger's outcome hasn't been disclosed, but the case clearly shows the tension that can arise between technological requirements and travelers' everyday reality. Have you ever seen those instant waist tricks? Well, a woman decided to show exactly how to get that effect quickly, without needing a diet or the gym. The technique she used was, let's say, at the very least curious. She grabbed a hair tie, pinched a piece of her belly near her navel, and tied it off right there.
It's still in the knot. Still in the knot.
To be honest, the result looked really weird. The tightly squeezed skin formed a kind of grotesque bulge, and it also looked pretty uncomfortable. Even so, the trick worked, at least visually, and showed that you can have a slim waist in a matter of seconds. What stands out in this case isn't just the creativity, but also the warning it brings. Squeezing your belly like that might create a temporary effect, but it isn't something recommended for health. The discomfort, the pressure on the skin, and even possible circulation issues show that quick fixes aren't always worth it. At the end of the day, if the goal is really to have a more defined waist, it might be safer and more efficient to invest in exercise and balanced eating. But you can't deny it. The unusual trick caught attention and showed how huge the desire to find shortcuts can be. And you, would you try a trick like that, or do you think it's better to go straight to the gym? At a traditional party, a well-dressed young woman decided to show off her champagne skills. The idea was to impress her friends by opening the bottle with a knife in that dramatic style. But since things don't always go as planned, it went wrong. When she made the move, she hit the wrong spot on the bottle, and instead of opening it elegantly, the liquid exploded everywhere. The young woman ended up completely drenched in her own champagne, and the reaction from people around her was a mix of shock and laughter. It's a good reminder that some tricks that seem fun can get out of control fast. A lively party, a little too much confidence, and boom, the situation turns into a mess in seconds. In the end, no one got hurt, but the unexpected shower definitely became one of the party stories. And here's the lesson: sometimes it's better to open champagne the classic, safe way than to try a cinematic effect that can turn into a disaster. On an ordinary day on the subway, a woman was sleeping so deeply she nearly had an accident. As the train kept moving, she started leaning to the side without noticing, until she ended up falling to the floor in a pretty rough way. Luckily, a man sitting next to her noticed what was happening and managed to help her pull herself together, preventing it from becoming even worse. With his support, the woman quickly recovered and stood up, visibly embarrassed but without getting hurt. Sleeping on the subway might seem harmless, but sometimes you pay a high price for a few seconds of a deep nap. In the end, the woman continued her trip, now more alert and probably traumatized about sleeping on public transportation. And here's the question: have you ever fallen asleep so deeply on a bus or subway that you almost ended up in a mess like that? Don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.